Hey guys, this is Luke. Welcome back to our channel. A couple weeks ago on social media, we asked if you had any questions for us, anything you were curious about what it's like to be a missionary, what it's like here in Haiti right now. And so a couple weeks ago, Becca and I sat down here at the church and we filmed the answers to the questions. So coming up, we've got our responses to your questions that you gave us on social media a couple weeks ago.
Hey guys, we are so excited to bring you this video and answer all the great questions that you guys took time to ask us.
Yeah, so, whoops, time limit. Here's one question. Where do you see Haiti in 10 years? That's a hard question to ask.
That's a loaded question.
Because if you had asked me that question 3 years ago,
it would be way different.
I would have said that Haiti would be in a better place. Haiti was, the first, 7 to 8 years after the earthquake, Haiti was definitely on a track of progress. Like the tourism sector was developing, businesses were coming, things were happening. And then 3 years ago, everything kind of fell apart and continues to fall apart. Even today, like just an hour ago, I went out and I had to run to the store, pick some stuff up for Becca. I didn't think to look at my security chat ahead of time. I got out there on Delma, all of a sudden there were smoking tires and the road was covered with rocks. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, there was a protest this afternoon. But it was like all over, so I just kept on going. But so Haiti has definitely gone backwards over the past 3 years, and doesn't show any sign of turning around. The one thing though that gives me hope right now, like when I'm in class with my students and we're talking about some of the issues, like it seems like there's a real desire among the younger generation to do things differently. They're really talking about, like, man, they're tired of corruption, they're tired of impunity, they're tired of this system that is fundamentally broken. So there definitely is a thirst for change. But like I was telling my students in class the other day, like, okay guys, this is good. Now how are you going to make sure you don't fall into the same trap when you get to be in your 50s and 60s? I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be like in 10 years. I hope better, but I'm not super optimistic.
I don't know if we can answer that.
Here's a good one. How do you deal with schooling for your kids?
Yeah, so schooling for us, we homeschool. I don't know everyone knows this, but I used to be a teacher before we had kids, and then I had the amazing opportunity to be able to stay home with our kiddos once we started having them. So schooling, choosing to homeschool was kind of a no-brainer. That's what we decided to do when we were here. There are options for school. They're either really, really expensive, and I just really love being able to teach, and I have an amazing relationship with my kiddos so that it works. It doesn't work for everybody. It works fantastic for us, and so we homeschool, which is so much fun. The kids love it. I love it.
And I'd say too, like, having come through the pandemic, like, a lot of people were forced into homeschooling, and we were like, so today's kind of just like yesterday.
And I think that's a huge blessing in disguise too. And plus, if we need to go on furlough or wherever we're doing, it doesn't interrupt our school at all. Nope. That's
good. Okay, here's the next one. Came in on Instagram. How do you prioritize your marriage and self-care with 4 kids and the craziness of Haiti? And this is coming from somebody who used to live here.
Yeah,
so
that's
they know
an excellent question.
You get it. You get it.
I think it looks different in different seasons that we're in. So during a pandemic and the unrest and just the craziness of Haiti, this looks a lot different than when we're free to go about the country at different times and do whatever we need to. So I would say in the last 2 years, we have to be very strategic on what we do.
I think one thing, when the kids go to bed, like, kids go to bed pretty early, and part of that's on purpose, because once they go to bed, now we can connect together, we can talk.
We're very purposeful to prioritize our time. When the kids are in bed, that's our time. It's not work, it's not ministry, it's not phone calls, it's not catching up. It's just completely just us time and just doing something that doesn't require a lot of brain activity. And so I think for self-care, we're both comfort people, so whatever brings us comfort, really, we put in that category of self-care. So for my thing is we splurge on creamer, so I can have creamer in my coffee. If I can start the morning with creamer in my coffee, it's like a hug, like it's wonderful. So that's one of the things that I do.
And there was only one store that we could find creamer at, but today I actually found it at Belmar. The creamer I bought today was at Belmar, so now we have 2 stores that have creamer. So
I went grocery shopping last week. We didn't have it. Yeah, there was no creamer at the other store, so it's okay.
The other thing we try to do is we try to get out of Port-au-Prince roughly every quarter. Even if it's just for a day. In fact, I'll put a video up here. You can see where we just took the kids out to Casal a couple weeks ago. It was super fun. So we try to do stuff like that. Another question is about getaway places here in Haiti, but it's expensive with a family of 6, but we do try to, we've got some great beaches here in Haiti. So, we haven't gone out there nearly as often as we should. I guess on average it's worked out to be maybe once a year when we get out to the beach. I think we probably been out there 5 times a year.
Yeah,
so,
that's right. There's an all-inclusive resort that is we can go and spend the night, and that's always our favorite because I don't have to cook or clean, and the kids can just play. Yeah,
I think that. Oh, the other thing I would say is working out. I mean, you can look at me. I'm not. I'm not in the best shape of my life.
You are. You have come so far.
Starting this year, Becca has been doing CrossFit for a few years. I thought it was kind of crazy.
He did. He made fun of me a lot.
No, I mean, she's like, oh, we just came home and we did 500 sit-ups and it was awesome. And I'm like, what? Now I'm like, I just did 150 wall balls and it was awesome. So I've been doing that, and it's been a great outlet for us to do together.
Yes.
Plus, just that physical activity, I feel better than I have felt in years. So the weight isn't coming off as quick as I want, but I've got a ton more energy. So when we're doing that, I'm in there at least 3 or maybe sometimes 4 times a week, and you're probably there maybe 5 times a week.
5 to 6 times a week.
So
So I got one that asked, what is a fun surprise or a fun experience that we are thankful for that the kids get to experience? Grace wants to be a vet when she grows up, and there is a local vet here who, when she helps other missionaries with their animals, will bring Grace alongside her and let her experience what it's like to be a vet. And to take care of the animals and surgeries, and Grace is right there and as her assistant sometimes, and it's really fun and a huge blessing, and she just eats it up.
Okay. It's from Lisa. What is the biggest blessing and the biggest challenge for your family right now, specifically? So that is a good one. Biggest challenge is which one's easier to answer? Biggest challenge, I think, right now is just living in a constant state of unpredictability. You don't know what things are going to be like from one day to the next. Will there be gas to buy? Will there not be gas to buy? Will the streets be hot and we can't go out, or will the streets be calm and we can go out?
And you're always on.
Will we get electricity, or do I need to make sure I have enough diesel for the generator so that we can keep the fridge running? So you just can't plan on anything, and that part of that's like normal Haiti, but also it's part of that's kind of a little bit worse right now because of the situation. So for me, the biggest challenge is the unpredictability. What about you? Is the same?
I think it's the same. You're just always on. Like the second you step outside the gate, whether it's just to go grocery shopping or go to church, you're just always looking, always planning, always strategizing. It's not just a simple thing.
You're always watching. And right now, with kidnapping, you're always watching your back. Foreigners aren't being targeted, but that could change at any moment. And so, anyway, biggest blessing right now.
Oh, I think specifically for us and the kids, I think we're homebodies, and so it's been so fun to be able to stay at home and do things extra with the kids and not have to be worried about a schedule or got to get to something. We have chickens and bunnies and gardens, and so just to be able to just do that day to day with the kids and not have to bounce to the next thing, I think is a huge blessing for us.
I think for me, one of the biggest blessings is to, especially so far in 2021, over the past 3 months in particular, to see the way God has been moving in very specific and clear ways. You know, we have here at the church where we are, we're at Cascade Chapel right now, we're seeing God do some really cool things at the church.
Huge things,
You know, we just had a baptism last weekend. It was amazing to see the people who got baptized. It was so cool because it was so clear that like nobody did that except God. God did that. And even this morning we had somebody come to Christ after the service. Like God. In fact, today, you know, Ernst was preaching, and then he had this verse at the end that he wanted to end with, and he forgot. But then when I was doing communion, the verse just randomly popped into my brain. And so I read the verse.
Oh, that's cool.
And he's like, I meant to, I'm like, God is doing this thing. This is not us.
Yeah.
And so we've definitely, like, his hand has been so evident right now. Specifically over the past 3 months. It's just really cool. So, okay, Ryan said, what are each of your top getaways that you've taken your family in Haiti? And then what are your top 5 bucket list things to do or experience here in Haiti with your kids? So, top getaways.
Great question.
Top getaways to Cameron's an easy one.
Yeah.
To Cameron, definitely Wahoo Bay.
Yeah.
Kazal was
Kazal
great.
was awesome.
I mean, that's getting out the countryside is so great.
I think that's all that we've done so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
we've done
we've
other things, but and
like getaways. Yeah.
And then going up and spending the afternoon in First Sea. Or,
that's fun.
Or
Going
wind
up into
farms,
the mountains.
getting up in the mountains, especially in the summertime when it's super hot here in Port-au-Prince. I remember one time it was like August, it was like 97 or 100 down here. And we got up in the top of the mountain and some rain came in. It got into the high 50s.
Yeah, it was
like
glorious.
It was wonderful.
Yeah,
so,
that was really nice.
And then top 5 bucket list things to do here in Haiti with the kids. That's easy. Bassin Bleu.
Yeah.
The Citadel.
Yes.
I've done the Citadel myself.
And I've done it myself, but we haven't done it as a family.
I want to do it with the kids.
Yes.
So Bassin Bleu, Citadel.
Yes. Jacmel.
Yeah, just Jacmel in general.
That's
I don't know.
probably
That's not 5, but Bassin Bleu, like as soon as kidnapping slows down a little bit so that we could have a little confidence going through Mardi Gras, I want to go to Jacmel for the weekend.
Yeah.
I've been to Jacmel in like
a list.
Probably 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So anyway, okay, good. Tina, besides Chick-fil-A, what are the things that you need the most but cannot get there? I think Chick-fil-A is it.
I like hands down family favorite, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. You know what? Every once in a while, I just crave a Big Mac, and I don't know why. I don't ever crave Big Macs in the States, but like right now, I'm talking about it. I kind of want a Big Mac. You know, just the special sauce and that like the bun. The bun probably not even real bread. But okay. Hold on. We had one more from Mrs. Mudge. It's over in the. All right, this question came in our private Facebook group that we have for our supporters. We have 2 questions that came in there. From Michelle Mudge, what besides family do you miss the most?
Chick-fil-A.
Kingston House of Pizza.
I think I really, on a serious note, super miss the convenience of things. Life here is crazy, even when it's not crazy outside. It takes like 20 things to do one task. So I do miss the conveniences of like having power 24/7 or hot water. Hot water.
One thing I notice, like when I go home, is that I'll get in the car and I'll just come up with reasons to go somewhere because I enjoy the predictable traffic in the U.S. and I enjoy the smooth roads. Last question from Elizabeth Mason. This question says, our kids would love to know what a typical day in Haiti looks like for your kids. Homeschooling, chores, fun stuff, etc. I think maybe we should just go ask the kids that question.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, hold on, Mason kids.
Thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you come back tomorrow because what we did next is we put the camera in front of our kids. If you're ever curious about what it's like to grow up on the mission field as a kid, what things are like in Haiti from their perspective, we put the camera in front of them, and tomorrow we're going to post part 2 of this Q&A where you can hear from our kids themselves. It's super cute. I know you'll love it, so make sure you come back to our channel tomorrow so you can see that video. Before you go, please be sure, click the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. If you found this video helpful, be sure and click the like button as well. Leave us a comment down below. Thanks again. We love you guys, and we will see you tomorrow on the next video.